Joining me now is NewsNation national security contributor and former CIA officer and FBI agent Tracy Walder. Tracy, it's always good to see you. I mean, this story seems so crazy to me on so many different levels because apparently the boys' receipts say that they did pay their fare. So how is this not an open and shut case in a matter of minutes?
Well, thank you so much for having me, Markie. I actually was reading Danish newspapers this morning, so one's in Danish language and had them translated to English. There's a bit more to this story, in my opinion, other than just not settling a fare. The cab driver did go to the hospital for various wounds that he sustained, and now he is alleging a pretty severe assault that the boys inflicted on him. Now, I don't know, obviously, if that's true, and I do not know what precipitated all of it, but my guess is that's why they are being held for as long as they are.
That piece of the puzzle isn't quite making American headlines yet. So thank you for bringing that to our radars, Tracy. We'll follow that closely. The family did hire an attorney. He says the young men have not been charged with a crime, at least at this time. How long can they be detained in a foreign prison with no charges?
So Mills is actually right. So in Denmark, it's about 4 weeks. That's pretty typical. I worked extensively actually with the Danes during my time at the CIA. And yes, their legal system is incredibly different than ours. My guess is the reasoning that they are being held for as long as they are is because of the flight risk issue. It's not to say they would leave the country. That I don't know. That is something that the U.S. Embassy is going to have to work out. Whether or not they take their passports, that may be something that they can work out, let them free on essentially a parole, but they can really hold them for up to 4 weeks without any charges.
Yeah. And I know the mom that we just heard from, she's come forward and she said she's worried about how this incident will impact her son and the other student moving forward. They're being held in prison for 23 hours a day. How might an incident like this impact someone's future and also their relationship with travel?
I think it's about mental health, to be honest with you. Obviously, as a mother, I would be concerned as well. If you have someone that's locked up for 23-ish hours a day, that would start to take a mental and emotional toll on them. So I would be very concerned about sort of long-term interests in regards to that. I also think, too, from a travel perspective, these are individuals that now may have this on their record, depending on whether or not they're ultimately convicted of these charges. And that would preclude them from travel, quite frankly, to Europe for indefinitely.
And you and I are both moms, and I think a lot of parents out there, they hear this story and they're saying, okay, I have a child who's traveling abroad soon. What's the lesson to be learned here if my kid finds themselves in a similar situation? Is it just pay double the fare because that's better than winding up behind bars? Or how should we handle ourselves, Tracy?
I think that that's such an excellent question, Marky. I don't want to ever tell anyone to not travel, right, as a result of this, because I don't think that that's effective in any way, shape, or form. But I do think not engaging with anyone, I understand, I don't know who started, obviously, the fight in regards to this, but not going forward with that assault probably would have been the best place to start. Obviously, also always have your cell phone recording. Start the record button on your cell phone so they're not just relying on the cab driver's version of events. So if you see yourself in a difficult situation, that would be my first piece of advice.
Yeah, great advice there. We're going to see what comes next in this case, but just a crazy story. Tracy Walder, thank you so much. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.